Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you have been paying attention to the crypto market, the last 7 days have been very defining. The reason I'm using that word is, first of all, I haven't posted a video, but I've been still paying attention to the way the market has been volatile ever since the tensions in the Middle East started to calm down between Iran, Israel and USA. The market was definitely showing a little bit of strength, especially Bitcoin able to capture 106,000. There was a chance that we will be receiving a very strong rally or the last bull push before we go back into the winter season. That's what I've been seeing on Twitter all over the place. And let's just say currently the market has shown a little bit of weakening. If we just look at Bitcoin's been doing very well, but if you compare that to majority of the altcoins, they have been strongly underperforming. I mean, if you just look at majority of them, I'm not just talking about Dogecoin, you realize that Ethereum's not even able to capture 2.5k, while Bitcoin is nearly again starting to push to its all-time high. Does this mean that ETF is the only way the market is moving? And at the same time, there are some crazy news coming out. First of all, Trump just announced he has officially signed the trade deal with China. And on the other end, the European Union says it's ready to make a trade deal with the US. And President Trump is starting to interview candidates to replace Powell. Now, personally, I'm very confused because he wouldn't even be able to make this decision because this doesn't come under his part of the government. And him trying to say that Powell, he's trying to get him to resign, is a very, very tricky situation, which we'll get into the full details of. At the same time, analysts say time for bulls to rule as Dogecoin price eyes a 200% pump, while Dogecoin or SEC is engaging with Bitwise to get into the Dogecoin ETF. Now, before we get into the full details of all this, if you guys are here for the first time, you know what to do. Scroll down, tap the red subscribe button, especially turn on your notifications so you can be, at the video very quickly and you can stay up to date with the latest and the greatest news first. And while there, drop a like on it. It will just help the YouTube algorithm push the video out to more people. More people are paying attention to the crypto market. They decide to buy into it. It starts spiking up and all of us make a lot of profit. Now, first of all, I want to show you guys the price action. This is what's been confusing me very, very strongly. The reason I'm using the word confusing, because you can see that when the tensions were extremely high, Bitcoin actually fell all the way down to 99,000. It was able to make a little bit of recovery, which majority of the altcoins followed through. But what Bitcoin did after that was actually keep going explosive. And you can see that after reaching 105,000, it hasn't actually shown sign of slowing down. And that's why a lot of traders which trade altcoins are very confused, especially if you just look at the Bitcoin to the altcoin season chart. You realize that Bitcoin is nearly at its all-time high again, about 18, and this year, the whole year, the lowest it's gone is 12. And you can see that every single day we're seeing that the altcoin season is definitely weakening, but at the same time Bitcoin is showing no signs of slowing down. There are some factors. Now, first of all, the ETF, you need to understand, yes, the ETF has played a very crucial role in ensuring that Bitcoin is able to do well. And as more larger firms are buying into the Bitcoin ETF, obviously the price is going to keep going up. And seeing that Trump is making all the markets a little bit uncertain, let's just say all the trade deals which get signed are definitely helping to ensure that it keeps climbing. There is a little bit of certainty, there's a little bit of uncertainties to keep the markets more volatile. That's how I see it, I'm not gonna lie. And European Union says it's ready to make the trade deal. This should have been done about 2 to 3 weeks ago, but they're definitely expanding it as much as possible to try to get a better trade deal partner. And at the same time, I do want to say, like, if you just pay attention to the precious metal, you can see that they have also slowed down just a tiny bit, so in terms of price. So that should give you an idea that as the tensions slow down, the markets are trying to make a decision in terms of what direction to take. Especially if you also look at currencies, the US dollar has been hit quite hard just in the last 48 hours. It's taken a really strong toll, and you can see it went from like 82 against the Swiss franc all the way down to under 80, which is quite a big dip for a currency, which I'm very certain a lot of you guys can tell. I mean, in the last 3 months, down 10%. Now, talking about Bitcoin, what is going to happen? Well, if you look at the open interest, it's still holding strong, close to 33 billion, while long to the short ratio, well, it's still in favor of short traders, but not by quite a margin. At the same time, I don't want to be super optimistic because I read the comments and some people are saying, oh, he's just trying to steal your money. Brother, you do realize that if you buy into Dogecoin, I do not own Dogecoin. I like to just give my personal opinion in terms of what is happening. I know like 90% of you guys are always very supportive, but that 10% sometimes really triggers me. I'm not here to promote Dogecoin. It's already a very big entity, which is not going to be, you know, manipulated by me. I mean, I definitely don't have like $1 billion to be able to control 5% of the supply. That's all I'm gonna say. And publicly traded holdings says it may buy or use 1 billion from South offering to buy Bitcoin. This is huge because you have more companies which are getting involved with Bitcoin. And White House official says Bitcoin is a digital gold and it's in the United States' best interest to accumulate as much as Bitcoin as we possibly can. And 6 trillion asset manager Fidelity says Bitcoin and crypto continue to evolve and they're not going to be showing any signs of slowing down. While El Salvador, now we know that El Salvador has been a very strong supporter of Bitcoin, they still buy Bitcoin every single day. Even though there's so many things which are happening on the back end, they're trying to ensure that they have the largest supply of Bitcoin when the world gets to that stage where they realize that crypto is the future. And Bitwise, Dogecoin ETF proposal as in-kind redemptions gain attention with SEC. Now, SEC is trying to get involved with ETFs as much as possible. Especially with Bitwise, they're trying to get into contact, trying to talk about the ETFs, and let's just say one of the strongest one that they're actually paying very close attention to is Dogecoin, and that should give you an idea that maybe in the future we are going to be seeing some positive trends. And Bitcoin is ranging the next major move. Will it come close outside of 106,900 or 108,200? If it's able to break above, well, there is a lot more upside potential. What Dogecoin ETF nears, but Dogecoin is down 5%. Is the bear market incoming, or is the ETF going to be turning it around? Now, 0.1 Bitcoin is the future American dream, says Binance CEO. This is so interesting because you guys know the American dream was definitely nothing to do with crypto, but now seeing this gets me a little excited. And Kraken Crypto Exchange secures the MiCA license from the island's central bank. So now more and more crypto related transactions will definitely happen in obviously Ireland. And US regulators direct a very important thing, which is to consider cryptocurrency as an asset, and it might be happening a lot sooner than you think. And finally, the banking senator expects US crypto legalization by September. If that happens, let's just say we just need the stable coins to be legalized and we're going to be seeing an explosion in the crypto market. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Anything I said today is no financial advice, just my personal opinion. I hope you have a good day, make the most of it, and I'll see you soon.